Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with Ion Cinema, here to review Those Who Wish Me Dead, the third feature directed by Taylor Sheridan, which Warner Brothers is releasing May 14th, 2021. Previously, of course, Sheridan directed Vile in 2011, Wind River in 2017, and now this film. But he's probably still best known as a screenwriter. His debut screenplay was Sicario, directed by Denis Villeneuve. He also wrote the sequel, recently Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, Hell or High Water, etc., etc. So this film is based on a novel by Michael Koryta, who is also one of the screenwriters in the adaptation, including Sheridan and Charles Leavitt. It follows two storylines that intersect. Angelina Jolie, notably, is Hannah, a storm chaser in Butte, Montana. We're introduced to her as kind of a one-time wild child who has survived a trauma because she was in charge of a team and misdiagnosed the way the wind was blowing, and 3 children in the woods died, under her watch. So she's kind of navigating, moving on with her career in that regard, and she's up in a watchtower observing the wilderness. At the same time, in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, a DA's house is blown up by 2 assassins, played by Patrick and Jack, played by Nicholas Hoult and Aidan Gillen, Hoult and Aidan Gillen, and they immediately go to Jacksonville to go after their next victim, a forensic accountant played by Jake Weber. Jake Weber sees the news and knows immediately that they're going to hunt him down next because he discovered some important information that, if leaked, will cause a big problem for somebody, although we never really find out who that somebody is. So he takes off to Butte to see his brother-in-law, played by Joe Bernthal, with his young child Connor, played by Finn Little. They waylay him because they find out where he's going from his house, and then the young boy is lost in the woods and runs into Angelina Jolie. Major forest fire has been started to smoke him out, and as they say, worlds collide. It plays about kind of as wonkily as it sounds, but one sees what Sheridan was attempting to do was kind of a revisionist Western meets maybe a bit of watered down John Grisham. The final product, though, is not is lacking in characterization, has a lot of terrible dialogue, and surprisingly questionable visual aesthetics, considering Ben Richardson of Beasts of Southern Wild is the cinematographer. There are a lot of sequences with Jolie, all of which are almost exclusively set outside, yet don't really look like they were, which, speaking of powerful women in Westerns, is a bit reminiscent of Joan Crawford and Nicholas Ray's Johnny Guitar, in which he did not allow any exterior shots of her in that film. And that said, there's really very scant characterization for Jolie, who seems a bit miscast and unbelievable in this role, as striking presence as she continues to be on screen. Everyone else pretty much suffers from, even Sheridan's obvious favored cast member Joe Bernthal, who had the best scene in Wind River. Even he really has nothing to do. In fact, the only person that really shines is Medina Senghore, playing Allison, the very pregnant wife of Joe Bernthal. And again, it's like that very violent, tragic scene in Wind River where, with Allison fighting off these assassins, where the film kind of comes to life just very briefly. I think Sheridan is a talented writer when it comes to violent action sequences, if he has also built empathetic characterizations, but it almost thus far, I think his treatments have worked best with another director kind of crafting them, much like David Mackenzie in Hell or High Water, or even Villeneuve in Sicario. Overall, I would give Those Who Wish Me Dead 1.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.